Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Steve Reach coming to you here today. What do you know? Sunday night football. The San Francisco 49ers going up against Denver Broncos. This is going to be one hell of a good game. Of course, as everybody knows, Jimmy Garoppolo backing the starting role for the 49ers. Russell Wilson took the trip from Seattle, is now the starting quarterback for Denver. So, although we're not going to be playing Denver each and every year, this is like the last time that this is going to be a rivalry game for us for a while. The Niners are going to want to beat Russell Wilson because of all that he represents coming from Seattle. To me, that rivalry is still strong, even though the Seattle team is kind of dissolved into not what the Legion of Boom once was. Richard Sherman coming over playing for the Niners, and just basically a lot of that team just falling apart, breaking off. To me, honestly, the years that we just couldn't beat Seattle still sit with me. They still sting about how good those teams were, how good the Niners were, but we just weren't good enough to beat that team. I remember the first time that the 49ers team that was led by, I believe, Nick Mullins beat Seattle. I was actually mad that it was like the backup to the backup QB who finally got the win in Seattle, because I wanted to beat them at full strength. I wanted to beat them to be able to have a marquee stamp of like, bam, this is us now. This is our town. But I'm sure that when the NFL and NBC put this Niner game on, this was supposed to be like a marquee game for Trey Lance. Let's see how good he's really going to be. But a lot of times when the starting quarterback goes down, you take a big, subtraction off of that team. I think the Niners actually honestly got better. Maybe not in the long run, but, the more and more I think about it, with Jimmy G, that whole offseason of like, when are we going to cut him? Is today the day that he's going to get traded? And then it comes down to him basically giving us like a $10 million coupon on the year to stay with the team. That means a lot, because he's not going to have to leave and go somewhere at the last minute. You're not going to go somewhere and become the starting quarterback in the last week of the preseason. You need time to, the other guys that went through camp, that played those other preseason games, they know the system. It's a lot like when Jimmy G got traded here from New England. He didn't become the starter right away. He sat on the sidelines for about a month because he wasn't going to do us any good by going out there, not knowing the plays, not knowing the playbook. And it's not just a copy and paste right over from what he was doing in New England, running the practice team over there. So, at the end of this year, he's going to get, 15 weeks of starting in the NFL, barring he gets injured, where he gets injured a lot. So that is a possibility. But, he's going to be able to show how good he is. And if he has another playoff berth for us and a drive in the playoffs, that's going to look nice for a team looking for a quarterback in free agency when he has a chance to just sign a deal. The Niners already have a quarterback in Trey Lance, so it's not like they're going to have to go to the table and bargain, push, and shove trying to beat somebody else to make sure they're going to keep the guy. And then Trey Lance becomes the number one quarterback, and that's it. Because we're more than likely they're going to draft a backup quarterback with one of our later picks, or we'll find an experienced guy, sort of like Mitch Trubisky, once he becomes available, to come over and be in that backup role where we hope he doesn't have to play. But if he does, he's a guy that has some starting experience to roll with the team. So honestly, next year, it becomes Trey Lance's team. Like it or not, that's the way it's going to be. And he's going to have to find a way to go through the year without getting injured, because we're going to be putting a lot of faith in the guy. To me, honestly, I watched pretty much all of the Denver versus Seattle game in week 1. Week 2, I don't know what Denver did. I didn't watch any of that game. But I think there's trouble in Denver. A lot of people sort of pointed at week 1. They lost because the coach, kicked that field goal from 65 yards a little bit too early. Russell Wilson's got the ball, 4th and 5. How do you not give him a chance to get that first down, then be able to stop the clock and kick the 3 from a little bit closer? I'm not sure. 63 yards is a long freaking, or was it 65? It was a long freaking way to kick that ball, trying to win that game. But if he does does it, the guy looks like a hero. I think the Niners got this bag. I haven't heard much about Kittle. Last week, I was really hoping to get him out there. So this week, I'm hoping that he's going to be a go. Jeff Wilson was a little bit better. You running the football last week, but then again, with Jimmy G, it's a lot more dink and dunk and not so much running the football as much. So I think we'll be able to get by without Elijah Mitchell, who's going to be out. This should be a fun one. NBC, 5:15. I know where I'll be sitting. I hope you guys are having a good time because the Niners about to go on a roll. Peace out, guys.